クシングをやっぱりこれ以上人気をって考えたら絶対に負けちゃいけない試合だと思うし。
それもやっぱりそのボクシングっていうものが好きだから、なんかそのボクシングっていう、ステに行った時はもうそういうモード入っちゃうんじゃないですかね。その時はやっぱり人間変わりますよね。
やっぱり、ボクシングが好きだからもうそれが一番ですね。はい。
Undefeated boxing king Naoya isn't wasting a second. He's already back in the gym, starting an early training camp for the massive showdown everyone wants against Bam Rodriguez. But this time, Inoue is thinking beyond just another victory. He's openly talking about his age and the reality that retirement is getting closer. Now, his biggest mission is to strengthen his legacy and give something back to the gym that helped build him. That changes everything. Bam Rodriguez won't be facing an ordinary champion. He'll be standing across from a boxing icon determined to deliver one last unforgettable masterpiece.
自分がこう納得するような結果っていうものはもう出せてると思うので、あとはもう本当にボクシングが好きっていう、もうそれだけですね。
He's pushing himself to another level in training, making sure every edge is razor sharp. That means Bam should expect relentless pressure and incredible intensity from the very first bell.
であったり、もちろん家族であったり、そういった、いろんなものが要因となって僕を今こう支えてると思うんですけど、その中で、今32歳になってなんかこう見えてくるものっていうのはやっぱり引退、いつかはやっぱり引退っていうものがもう見えてくる時期にはなってるので、じゃあその先に何をするかって考えた時に、やっぱりこう大橋会長のやっぱあと
The monster has revealed exactly how he plans to handle this fight. He wants to stay at his ideal range, break his opponent down with clean shots, then move before taking damage instead of getting dragged into a reckless firefight. Inoue believes his ring awareness and laser focus are even better now than they were earlier in his career. If that's true, he'll be reading every move in real time.
6 8 9 ラスト OK。
今はでも自分のことだけです。はい。やっぱりああいう昨日のスパーリングとかにしても後輩に見せたくないですからね。まだまだ自分もプレイヤーとしてやってるし、それだけの意地があるし、負けられないっていう気持ちもあるんで、自分がやってるそのパフォーマンスを見て盗めとはならないです。やっぱりまだまだ自分がトップでやってる以上はプライドもあるんで、そういった気持ち、なんかそういう気持ちが多分なくなってきたら、こう格闘家として弱まっていくんだろうなとは思うんですけどね。
Bam admits that a 10-week training camp pushes his body to the limit, but he says giving his kids a better future is the reason he never stops. That motivation keeps him going through every brutal session. With that purpose driving him, Bam is getting mentally ready to go through anything it takes to shock the pound-for-pound king.
直哉の距離をしっかりキープして、例えば足を止めてグイグイいくと、やっぱりすごくピカソって好戦的なんで、やっぱりしっかりと打ち返してきてっていう、向こうの土俵には入りたくないんですよ。 だからしっかりと直哉の距離をキープしてヒットアンド A で自分のパンチは当たるんだけども相手のパンチを外すよっていうのを繰り返しながら崩してダメージ与えてっていう感じで、自分の今のイメージはそういう感じで組み立てていきたいかなっていう、
Bam gives fans a look inside one of his toughest training sessions, where he battles through 12 non-stop rounds of pad work while rotating between 3 different coaches. The constant changes are built to test both his endurance and his ability to adjust under pressure, getting him ready to match Inoue's pace deep into the championship rounds.
そうですけど、集中力ですよね。やっぱり集中してると、その場その場の瞬間判断がやっぱりいち早くやっぱりできると思うんですよ。やっぱりその気を抜いたりとか一切しないで、その集中できた時、そういうのは、最近昔よりも。
Bam explains that he trains with thick, padded focus mitts to recreate his opponent's style as closely as possible, while sharpening smooth punch and pivot combinations to the body. He's repeating these high-pressure body attacks over and over, hoping the right combination can disrupt Inoue's rhythm and take some of the speed away from the monster.
I think the difference between somebody like Bam and amateur fighters and stuff is how intelligent they are, the experiences that they've been through already. A lot of the times when Bam is sparring, there's stuff that we see from the outside that we're about to tell him something, and he just does it on his own. Like, the elite level guys are so smart, they're so cerebral in everything that they do. That's, I think, the main thing that sets them apart, because we have a lot of guys that they all work hard. We have 4-rounders, 6-rounders, 8-round fighters that all work hard, but the stuff that we do in the gym, the way we do, like, the most basic example, like when we're using Bam, is how he pivots and stuff. We try to teach a lot of fighters to do that, but they can't do it in the fight. They won't even try it in the fight. But Bam is smart enough to know when, intelligent, and I think
Bam breaks it all down as excitement around this fight keeps reaching another level. But what do you think? Does youth win, or does experience take over? Even the boxing world can't stop talking about this matchup. Then Teddy Atlas steps in and says Inoue has something that can't be taught, bought, or fast-tracked. True championship experience built over years at the highest level. He believes Bam brings fearless confidence and youthful energy, but Inoue's deep ring experience gives him a razor-sharp advantage that could be the difference when it matters most.
Here inside the gym, you got former world champions, current world champions, hungry prospects, amateurs on their way to turning professional. I feel like we all feed off each other's energy. The sparring we get here is better than a lot of gyms get. So I feel like all of that combined.
Turning to Bam's remarkable accomplishments, Atlas makes it clear that the young challenger has already proven he belongs among boxing's elite. He's stepped onto the biggest stages and defeated top champions across multiple weight classes. But here's the question: can he do it again against the monster? Even after everything Bam has achieved at such a young age, the legendary trainer says he's still putting his faith in the rising star to shock the boxing world and accomplish what many believe is impossible.
What's that?
What's on the playlist
Today, really? Whatever Spotify decides, but I can't really find a vibe right now, so that's what I'm trying to look for. Boxing's hard. I believe it's the hardest sport in the world. Not only because of the fighting part, but the training. People don't see this part. They only see, when we step inside the ring, come fight night. But 10-week training camps, they take a toll on you. But as far as my motivation is my kids and my family now. My dream when I became professional was to become world champion, and I did that plenty of years ago. And now that I have kids, I feel like that's my motivation to keep going and give them a better life. One of the coaches here told me the longer you box, the better life your kids will have. So I kept that in my mind, and every day when there's days I don't feel like training, but...
The biggest question is what happens in the opening rounds. Can Bam handle the early pressure? Because one clean shot from a puncher like Inoue can change everything in an instant. Atlas believes Bam will come into this fight completely locked in, but he also warns that even the smallest defensive mistake could be costly. If Bam repeats the lapses seen in some of his previous fights, surviving against the monster will become a huge challenge.
Today, I did 12 rounds of mitts with 3 different coaches.
So, talk me through why the switch between coaches.
Well, I think it's multiple reasons. One reason, just because I think maybe they get tired of holding the mitts, their hands start hurting, their elbows start hurting. Second, each coach has a different style of doing mitts. One might be more technical, the other coach might be more stamina. I feel like that's what we have here in this gym, so that's why we rotate coaches.
Wrapping up his prediction, Atlas reminds everyone that Inoue followed the same path, rising through the lower weight classes and conquering division after division to build his legendary reputation. Now it's Bam's turn to face that challenge. So here's the question: can he make the same historic leap, or will Inoue prove that some levels are simply too high to reach?
The puffy ones, that's more for like your game plan, what you're gonna do in the actual fight, and you're actually able to hit those a little bit more harder. They try to emulate your opponent's style and work on things that might work in the fight.
There you go. One more time. 2 to the 2. Yeah.
In terms of like a combination that you put together to end the fight, if you can think of a moment where you thought, oh shit, this is exactly what I practiced in the gym, what would it be?
I think it would be the shot that I ended Gaio Star with, hit him to the body, and then I did a pivot, hit the body again. I feel like that was just second nature, really. It just came natural to me because that's what we do here inside the gym with the mitts. We always work on our angles, hit a combination angle and do another combination, and I feel like that worked perfectly, that fight.
Then boxing legend Roy Jones Jr. weighs in, showing huge respect for Bam's outstanding footwork and polished technical style. He believes Bam has all the tools to compete at the highest level. But here's the real question: can he overcome a challenge like Inoue? Jones says if the young star can pull off that incredible upset, he'll instantly rise to the very top of boxing and earn his place as the new pound-for-pound king.
The seasoning. Every good steak needs a little extra seasoning when you're gonna have that special occasion. Inoue has that extra seasoning, that experience, that little more. Listen, Bam's still young. He's younger. Now, youth can be served, but experience can too.
Adding even more excitement to the debate, Andre Ward shares his view of Bam's unique fighting style. He describes Bam as a fighter who moves with incredible rhythm, using slick footwork and constant movement to keep opponents guessing. Then he attacks from unexpected angles, landing clean, accurate shots before they can react. According to Ward, Bam's offense only gets stronger as the fight goes on, with every round bringing more pressure and more damage.
Bam has already won titles at different weight classes, and he's won them against really good fighters. You know, a couple of them a little older, but I mean, he's already beaten top fighters. It's not like he hasn't been tested. It's not like he hasn't been in there with top guys or the best guys. He has done what he's done at an early age with top guys. And so in that way, I have to believe in him, and I do believe.
Ward then compares that smooth style to the pure danger Inoue brings every time he steps into the ring. He says the champion fights like a relentless force, constantly marching forward with bad intentions and looking to break through any defense. According to Ward, Inoue's explosive speed and lightning-fast reactions can end a fight in a split second. If a fighter isn't strong enough to handle that kind of power and pressure, the night could be over before they even have a chance to adjust.
And he's going to go in there with one of, well, possibly could wind up being one of the all-time greats. And Bam might wind up being that too. But Bam is still a little bit further down the road in that career. In a way, he's a little further up the road in that career. Seasoning. Try it. Next time, you have a beautiful little, just a little bit seasoning. But that could be the difference And I know I said it already, but I'll say just finish that. And I know Bam would be different. He'd be more attentive against a guy like Inoue. But you can't afford to get tagged the way he did early on. And it would be an interesting fight.
Breaking down the tactical battle, Ward explains that Inoue is at his best when he attacks straight down the middle, driving forward with explosive bursts that overwhelm anyone caught in front of him. That sets up a fascinating clash of styles against Bam, who relies on constant side-to-side movement to create angles and avoid danger. So who wins this battle? The slick technician trying to stay off the line of fire, or the devastating puncher determined to cut off the ring and land the shot that changes everything?
Hey, don't forget, even though we're talking the way we're talking about Bam being at a disadvantage, we're kind of talking that way, that hypothetically, can he make that next step? Inoue made the next step. They kind of went down, they've gone down similar roads, you know. Inoue made that next step. He wasn't always at 122. He wasn't even at 118. He was below that.
Is one of the best fighters in the world. You know, you can play around with that pound for pound list, and he's right there in that mix. And Bam is he's like a violent jazz player. You know, the movements and the setup that he does with his feet, right? He's a feet first fighter. He loves to get you on an angle, kind of spook you, have you looking for him, and all of a sudden, boom, the accurate shots come through, and then he'll start to add power as the fight goes on. Just poetry in motion. But
this blockbuster clash between Naoya Inoue and Jesse, Bam, Rodriguez is quickly becoming one of the most exciting tactical battles modern boxing has ever seen. Inoue has already started camp early, sharpening his devastating forward attack, while Bam is polishing his slick footwork and sharp angles to neutralize the pressure. The room for mistakes is almost non-existent. Every moment of this fight could change everything, as two elite champions put their undefeated records and lasting legacies on the line. Boxing fans have waited years for a matchup this big, where one perfectly timed punch could completely reshape the sport. This is the kind of fight where two champions in their prime collide, forcing both men to reach the absolute limits of their skill, heart, and determination. In the end, we'll find out whether Inoue's incredible reign can finally be stopped, or if his destructive style is simply too much for another world-class fighter to overcome. So what do you think about this incredible clash of styles? Will Bam's brilliant footwork be enough to stay away from the monster's frightening power? Or will Inoue's championship experience and explosive speed hand the young challenger the first loss of his career? Could this become the historic night that crowns a brand new pound-for-pound king? Can Bam survive the brutal early body attack that has broken so many opponents before him? And what happens if Bam successfully controls the angles and starts landing clean counters from unexpected positions? Is moving up to super bantamweight the bold, career-defining decision Bam needed to make? Or will it turn into the biggest gamble of his career? Which fighter do you believe will crack first once the action begins in the middle of the ring? And how do you see this super fight ending? A spectacular knockout or a dramatic 12-round war on the scorecards? Drop your prediction in the comments below, and let's hear who you're backing. This video is created under the principles of fair use for commentary, news reporting, criticism, analysis, education, and entertainment. It is intended for informational and educational purposes only to keep the boxing community updated. All images, clips, and trademarks belong to their respective owners. We do not claim ownership of any third-party material used under applicable fair use principles. To make this content more unique, informative, and engaging for both our audience and YouTube, we used AI-assisted production alongside original research, editing, narration, and analysis. This video is an independently created fan commentary and is not affiliated with or endorsed by any fighter, promoter, broadcaster, or organization.